Every single day, I see a new video of someone coming on here crying because they can't afford groceries, crying because they can't afford gas, sitting here panicking because they don't know they're going to be able to buy their kids food and clothes. They can't even get to work. People struggling to the point of they don't want to be here anymore. They're ready to check out.
I think why people are most upset is because they are living a quality of life that does not make sense for how hard they work. Something you will commonly see people say is, I make twice as much as my parents made, and I live a life that is nothing like theirs. Like, you make 2 times more than what your parents make, and yet the quality of life you live is 2 times less than what your parents had. Like, if you look at your current salary versus what your parents were making at one point, and they were using that salary to live, feed families, buy cars, buy homes, pay rent consistently, and occasionally they had some money to spend on what they actually enjoyed doing. And you know what I'm really trying to figure out is how in the freak were our parents taking us on family vacations on those salaries, and somehow the salaries we make right now can barely guarantee getting a full tank of gas in our cars that we need to get to work. And I think so often everyone wants to blame boomers, then they want to blame Gen X, they want to blame all the generations for why things are like this. But realistically, it's genuinely the rise in billionaires and shareholders being happy over people.
Hey YouTube, everywhere I look, people are talking about how expensive life has gotten recently. And whether it's groceries, rent, insurance, or just trying to have money left over at the end of the month, it feels like people are working harder than ever just to stay in the same place. So while these TikToks play in the background, I want to talk about why so many Americans feel like they're falling behind, even when they're doing everything they're supposed to. Because for a lot of people, the biggest frustration isn't just that things cost more now, it's that the path to getting ahead feels way harder than it used to.
Credit card delinquencies are at an all-time high in the United States. Mortgages are being foreclosed on because people aren't paying, and car notes are not getting paid either. It's the highest it's been, but yet President Trump is throwing a fight on the White House lawn. They're trying to get $1 billion of taxpayer money to build a ballroom. I think one woman said it best: why do they need a ballroom? They're supposed to be leading, not dancing. And I know he's going to use it as a meeting space, but calling it a ballroom, it's like it has its connotations. And I'm just trying to figure out, at what point do the supporters realize how badly they've been played? Nothing has been done to increase domestic success. Nothing has been done here. Nothing has been done to make life more affordable. Nothing has been done to make things cheaper. Nothing has been done to put in regulations to keep our food and drinking water safe. In fact, much of that has been undone, to be quite frank. And I'm just trying to figure, how long will it take before they say we've been had? Is it because they can't, because they know how embarrassing it would be if they have to admit it? Or are they so gone into the cult fetish that they just can't tell it's happening? And I don't know, because you can't say things are fine when you're using credit cards to buy your basic needs like food or groceries or clothes, you know? You can't say you're doing well if you're not paying your car note on time, and you can't say you're doing well if you can't pay your mortgage on time. And the fact that people are living full-time in hotels now, I actually saw a special about that. People are living full-time in hotels because it's cheaper. I know you didn't vote for Trump if you're living full-time in a hotel. That means you know things are that bad, and you voted for someone who doesn't want to make it better, and you're still supporting him even though you're living full-time in a hotel. So at what point do we just say we've been had and demand better? What happened to the good old Republicans that were like, hate the establishment, stop these politicians, they're all no good? Whatever happened to them? Like, this brainwashing is deep. Those people were like a staple in my life. I respected them. I was just like, y'all some anarchists, but I respect you, dog. I respect you. You stuck to your guns. But now it's all gone. All them people is gone. I don't hear them talking about down with the politicians and all that. It's just all hail Trump, hail Trump, hail Trump. And it's weird. I kind of miss those days. But here we are. I just don't know how it can get better without it getting worse. And I don't think Trump and friends have any intention of making it better. But hopefully you're doing okay or surviving in a nice-ish way. Have a good day, y'all.
Anytime I make a video or I see a video about talking about, not making enough, not being able to afford groceries, etc. So, you know the conversation. Why is it that people always say the same? Find a different job, work more, work harder, all this shit. They always say that. But So the most amount of money that I made per year from a job was when I was a driver for Frito. I made roughly, my second year was roughly going on, if I didn't quit, it would have been around 80,000, which, you know, the base salary for that job was about 72, but there's a lot of bonuses, right? However, I had Wednesdays and Sundays off, which if you know anything about Frito, those aren't really days off because you're going to sleep at like 12 o'clock in the afternoon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so you're not really getting a day off. And I was averaging between 40 and 55 hours a week, bro. I physically could not do anything else, bro. I couldn't. When I was working and making that money, did I have money in my pocket? Sure. Was it a lot? Fuck no. But I was able to move out. I found a townhouse that I thought I could afford. Turns out I couldn't afford it because they kept increasing the fucking rent. So then I had to get a second fucking job cleaning nights at a dealership. So I ended up quitting both jobs because I got so burnt out. And then I ended up moving out. So, like, the thing is like, I've done it, bro. I have worked my absolute fucking ass off. I literally couldn't work any harder than what I was working hard because of how much money I was making. But it didn't improve my life at all, bro. It didn't. I thought with that type of money, I'll move out and finally be able to afford to live. I was able to do that for like 3 months. Like, I couldn't work harder. I couldn't work more. And I found a decent paying job. So now what? So my options were to either, you know, well, see, did I have to quit? No. But the thing is that I didn't have a life, bro. So I had to make a very impactful decision. Was money or having a life more important to me? And for almost 2 years, me following the money, having a life was so much more important to me. And honestly, to this day, I don't really regret that decision. There's been times where I wish I can go back, and I thought about going back and etc. But truth be told, I don't regret that decision. Because the next 7 months of my life after I quit was amazing, bro. I was able, because I had money saved up, bro, I was able to just live and just deal with the consequences of my actions later on in life. But I got to just live. I got to go to the gym twice a day. I got to go hang out with friends, go out to the club. I was able to actually do something. I'm getting pissed off by just talking about it, but like, I don't know. I don't know anymore.
A lot of people grew up hearing that if you work hard, stay out of trouble, and make smart decisions, you'll eventually build a comfortable life. The problem is that the price of almost everything has been climbing faster than what many people are earning. You can see it in housing, food, transportation, healthcare, and even things that used to feel affordable a few years ago. People aren't shocked when they spend money anymore because they already expect the total to be higher than it should be. This creates a weird feeling where every purchase starts to feel like a calculation. Instead of asking if they want something, people are asking if they could justify it. A lot of families have to cut back on extras and are only focusing on essentials. The issue is that even essentials are becoming harder and harder to keep up with. That's why so many conversations online aren't really about luxury spending. They're about regular people trying to cover regular expenses. When everyday necessities start feeling expensive, financial stress becomes part of daily life whether people want it or not.
Another thing about the high bright prices that irritates me is that a lot of those prices keep these apartments empty, and these places, rather than just lower the price so they can be rented out and they can get some kind of income, they just have these apartments sitting empty for years. Apartments be sitting empty because they be charging these crazy ass prices for these outdated apartments. Like, never had any maintenance done, no upgrades, no new appliances, but you're charging this much for this place, knowing damn well it's barely worth $500 a month. And they really do be about profit over people, but not just profit over people, but highest profit, because they could lower the price and still get something, but they want the highest price that they could get out of you. They're not interested in breaking even or doing kind of well. They want to have record high profits. Because you'll see people on here, like property managers, come online and complain about how, oh, these apartments been sitting open for 7 months plus, 8 months plus. Yeah, it's the prices. Clearly, it's the prices. And the requirements, low-key. Because what do you mean 3 times? And then you have to pay for application fee, but you don't get a refund if they don't approve your application? No.
I don't care how nothing gets paid. I'm going to go get my nails fixed. I'm going to take my stepdaughter over to an adventure park to celebrate her 15th birthday that we didn't get to celebrate yet. I don't care.
So she tired.
I don't care anymore. To continue to work hard, to sweat, to cry, to be angry, just to afford to live. I'm not doing it no more. I don't care how the lights get paid. I don't care how nothing gets paid. I'm not doing it no more. You know it's bad when you're borrowing money from Cash App.
I didn't know that was
And a lot of us are doing that. We all fixing to end up in civil court over Cash App. Borrow limit. Afterpay.
Man.
And then people tell you half favor is going to get better. No, it's not. It's going to get worse. If you don't know the word, then just say that. A lot of us have been struggling like this all of our lives. And to know that it's going to get worse is like, damn. We ain't going to ever be able to enjoy it. Especially when you've been struggling all your life. Just to find out it's fixing to get worse. So I'm going to make it better for me in the moment. I can't afford to do anything else. If we don't do something for ourselves, just to keep ourselves sane, we gonna go crazy, and I refuse. After everything that I've been through in life, to allow the devil to make me go crazy because of some shit that's out of our control.
Man, people are tired. People are starting to crack, man, mentally, physically, man. People is getting sick. Man, we are in a time where everything is super inflated except the paychecks, bro. You know, even the light bill, water bill, you know, property taxes, insurance, all that mess is going up. Except people paycheck, and people already working 40, 50, 60 hours a week. Now, some people got 2 jobs. They're working 2 full-time jobs, 80 hours, and then you still got to go hustle.
What makes the situation so frustrating is that many people aren't looking for some unrealistic lifestyle. They're not expecting mansions, sports cars, or anything crazy. A lot of them just want stability. They want to pay their bills without constantly checking their bank account. They want to save money without feeling like every dollar has already been claimed by something else. For younger people especially, there's a growing feeling that each financial milestone keeps getting further and further away. Buying a home feels harder, starting a family feels more expensive, even building an emergency fund can take way longer than expected. At the same time, social media constantly exposes people to lifestyles they can't realistically afford, which makes the gap feel even bigger. The result is that a lot of people feel like they're putting in effort every single day, but feeling like they're barely making progress. That's where most of the frustration comes from. It's not just about being broke for 1 month or dealing with one unexpected bill. It's the feeling that no matter how much you budget, plan, or work, the finish line keeps getting pushed further and further down the road. And when enough people start feeling that way at the same time, it changes how everybody thinks, work spends, saves, and what the future is actually going to look like for everybody. If you guys enjoyed the video, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. See you guys in the next one. Have a great day.